Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and hope you're having a great Sunday so far. And welcome to this new video, in which we'll do a bit of a review on the markets today. Now, today not much has been going on. There's been some volatility, and that there is some movement, as you can see in the markets right now. The Bitcoin dominance is moving up a little bit more, which is slightly worrying, but not too much yet. The volume in the markets is still very low. And I would even argue that getting some sort of a bearish move first is actually a bullish thing. But we'll get to that a bit later. First of all, talking about next week, I already spoke about this briefly yesterday as well. But next week is going to be relatively quiet in terms of economic data. Who knows what happens with the tariffs, etc. It is not expected that we will get new updates regarding tariffs, but it's obviously a possibility. But so far, or at least right now, that's not really affecting the markets anymore as much as it did 2 weeks ago. And then outside of that, on Wednesday we have FOMC minutes. That's interesting, and that can make the markets move. But outside of that, it's a relatively quiet week. Thursday we have initial jobless claims. I doubt that that's going to matter much. And Friday we basically have nothing. So in terms of economic data, it's a relatively quiet week. But what is true is that the fundamentals will matter a lot. Right? What we saw last week, and this is absolutely crucial to understand, what we saw is that the dollar strength index turned relatively bearish. So that's good for the crypto market. So it's at support right now. So I do expect that to bounce up a bit, and that's also one of the reasons why we can actually see some more bearish momentum here. But I do, for now, expect, and that's also what we need if we want more bullish market circumstances, that this is going to drop down lower into that level around 105.5. So it's absolutely crucial that after getting some sort of a bounce from this strong support level it's at, that we will see a rejection and a bearish continuation, at least if we want some more bullish markets. And then outside of that, what kind of goes hand in hand with that is that what we also saw last week is that the Bitcoin dominance started to trend down since, basically since Monday, so the entire week. We also need to see this reject from resistance at some point of time soon, so today or tomorrow, I'd say. So that we can actually expect both more bullish momentum from the fundamental front, from a bearish dollar strength index, but also some more bullish momentum for altcoins by seeing a Bitcoin dominance that continues to trend down. So those are things we need to keep an eye on. For now, to predict, or at least to give you my thoughts on the markets, given the volume that we have right now, which is still super low, like it has increased a little bit, but it's still very low. It's at 14.88 billion. What I'd expect is that we will still short-term see a lot of volatility. All right, so that is something you need to be aware of. However, with the rounding we've seen so far, and just in general, I'd say relief. We have seen some relief in the markets in the last couple of days, and I'm not saying this just because I want to be bullish. As most of you know, basically since we hit this level right here, I was bearish. But at some point of time, when we saw this rounding up, I turned bullish, and that's what I still am. But due to the low volume, I do expect that we can, for Bitcoin, but altcoins will follow that, we will have some sort of a spike down, some sort of a liquidation spike, but I still do think, given the fundamentals and given some sort of a bullish continuation of those fundamentals, that we can see a move into 99, 100,000 first before actually moving back down to the bigger support level at 93 and 92,000. Those are my thoughts on Bitcoin and also on the market, although the market will react to this proportionally to how bullish or bearish the Bitcoin dominance is going to be. And for XRP, I think for XRP, because I know a lot of you are interested in that, so I just wanted to include that specifically a bit. I think the situation for XRP is a bit similar. Short term, it's likely to follow the market. It's losing some specific XRP or Ripple related momentum, so it's to be expected that we have a spike down. But I do think after that liquidity spike down, we can actually bounce back up, hold our levels, and even see some more bullish momentum. I think that's in line with the technicals. I think that's in line with the fundamentals. So therefore, I expect it. Now, looking at the markets, there are some, like this morning, we actually opened with a lot of scam opportunities. For example, on Golem or GLM, but there's also some other coins that actually pull a lot of volume, something like Alchemy Pay or ACH. I would personally stay away from those. I mean, it's sometimes it's interesting to trade those and to dabble around in them, but it's better, especially on a Sunday, to stay away. Outside of that, I do think there are some opportunities. I still think Hyperliquid as an altcoin is something you should not miss. So please don't do that. Solana dropping down into 175, I still think is a great opportunity. I think Litecoin, if we get some sort of a very leveraged spike up, is a great short opportunity, even though I am bullish on Litecoin. I know it sounds weird, but I think it's overextended if we actually do get some sort of a spike up. Then outside of that, there's not much. Kaspa is interesting if we break above 11 cents. That's definitely one to keep on your watch list. Trump has dropped back down into the range, so that's no longer very interesting, at least not at these levels. Yeah, that's it for now. I think those are some altcoins that you need to keep an eye on, and some altcoins opportunities. If you do have any questions, anything, let me know. I will keep you updated on the market, so keep an eye on the channel tomorrow morning, etc. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care, and bye.